Jeremiah Jones Thomas. Today I will be giving my persuasive speech, and this is my audience. Today I will be talking about the effect of contact football on young athletes. Every year, thousands of young athletes participate in youth football, hoping to make it to the pros or simply to enjoy the game. However, with the increasing evidence linking football to long-term brain injuries, particularly chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE, or known as CTE, one must ask, is it worth it? Youth football should be banned, or at the very least, heavily regulated due to the significant risk it passes to young players. Long-term brain health, particularly the development of conditions like CTE, which have been shown to cause irreversible damage to the brain. CTE and its connection to football. Research has shown that the repetitive head trauma often causes the impacts in contact football leads to the development of CTE, a degenerative brain disease that affects cognitive functions and causes the mood disruptions. A 2017 study found out that out of 202 former football players, 87% tested positive for CTE, and the conditions worsens with years of playing the sport. Impact of youth players. According to the 2018 studies published by the American Journal of Sports Medicine, children who began playing contact football before the age of 12 are at a higher risk of developing CTE and neurological disorders later in life. Even at the youth level, repetitive collisions lead to subconcussions, hits that cause long-term damage to the brain, which are often undiagnosed until it is too late. Children developing brains. Children's brains are still developing and making them more vulnerable to injuries like concussions, according to the American Academy of Pediatricians. Children who suffer a concussion are at risk of more severe cognitive issues later in life, including learning disabilities, depression, and difficulties with motor skills. These risks are not fully understood by parents or even coaches, who may underestimate the danger associated with the head injuries in youth sports. Parental responsibilities. Parents and coaches may not be fully aware of the risks associated with youth football. In many cases, children are encouraged to play the sports because of the culture or the financial incentives, but they are not given the full picture of the potential long-term consequences. The issues is not just about football, it's about the informal decision-making when it comes to the children's health. Flag football as a safer alternative. Flag football, a non-contact version of the sport, has gained popularity as a safer alternative for young athletes. Studies have shown that it still performs teamwork, athleticism, and fitness without the risk of head trauma. Research suggests that switching from contact football to flag football reduces the likelihood of concussions and other head injuries by as much as 80%. Non-contact sports with similarities. Other sports such as soccer, basketball, or track and field can offer children opportunities to develop physical fitness, discipline, and teamwork without the risks with contact sports like football. A 2019 survey conducted by the National Federation of State High School Association found that non-contact sports have seen increasing participation, with parents and children alike showing more interest in athletic activities, safer athletic activities. To conclude, the risks associated with youth football, particularly the long-term brain damage caused by head injuries like CTE, make it an irresponsible and unsafe choice for children. The call to action is it's time for parents, coaches, and lawmakers to act in the best interest of young athletes by pushing for greater regulation of youth football and considering alternatives that minimize risk. Let's protect the children and make safer, healthier choices for the next generation of athletes.